Proverbs chapter 31. We're closing out the book of Proverbs. This is, in your text, it may say the sayings of King Lemuel. These are the sayings of a man by the name of Lemuel, and his mother taught them to him, especially in the first 9 verses. Then what we'll find out about is what a wife of noble character looks like. And in this, God is going to show a son what he should be looking for in his future wife, and he's going to show a daughter what she should be desiring to become as she grows into a woman of faith, because God is looking for us to be the whole package or the full package. God's not looking just at the outward. God's looking at the heart. So here we go. Verse 2. Listen, my son. Listen, son of my womb. Listen, my son, the answer to my prayers. Don't spend all your strength on women, your vigor on those who ruin kings. Don't get caught up with all the ladies, son. Don't get caught up chasing and pursuing relationships that may or may not be healthy for your future. Let us be committed to the one that God has called us to in our life. Let us be in covenant with the man or the woman that God has called us to in our walk and in our relationship. I don't have to be focused on every other girl out there. When I said yes to Tiffany, I said no to everyone else. And when God brings the right spouse into your life, you're saying no to everyone else. Proverbs is full of warnings of the dangers of adultery, of the dangers of pursuing things that are not healthy for you, of being given to excess. It talks about gluttony. It talks about drunkenness. Again, we'll hear them talk about the dangers of what alcohol can bring into our life if we're not careful. There are people who will choose to drink, and they'll drink too much, and they lack self-control. And because they lack self-control, they'll make choices that will bring about pain in their future. Whatever you choose, whether you choose not to drink at all, great. Whether you choose to have alcohol, whether it be wine or whatever, and you manage what you drink, okay. At the end of the day, I don't want to get into that. What's most important to me is this. We're not to be given to excess. We're not to be given to drunkenness. We're to be men and women who operate in the fruit of the Spirit. One of the fruit of the Spirit is self-control. It is not for kings, Lemuel. It is not for kings to drink wine, not for rulers to crave beer, lest they drink and forget what has been decreed and deprive all the oppressed of their rights. She's saying to Lemuel as he's in leadership, be careful, because if you're drinking too much, you can forget what you've said. If you're drinking too much, you can act rashly, and you can act not consistently with the character that you have. It's the danger of things when we don't have self-control. She writes, let beer be for those who are perishing, wine for those who are in anguish. Let them drink and forget their poverty and remember their misery no more. She says, you need to be careful because you don't have to be like everyone else. You, verse 8, can speak up for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all who are destitute. Speak up and judge fairly. Defend the rights of the poor and the needy. She's speaking to her son, and she's saying, son, here's basically the warning that I give you for life. Don't get caught up in chasing every lady in front of you, and don't get caught up in slamming every beer that you can and tasting every wine that's placed at your table. It's really simple. It's really practical. Don't be given over to alcohol, and don't be given over to unhealthy relationships and pursuing relationships that God doesn't have for you. It's not like overly complicated. Don't get drunk, and don't fool around. I'll say it one more time. Don't get drunk, and don't fool around. You look at people's lives. What messes up the majority of people's lives and relationships? They get drunk and they fool around. It's not that complicated. Verse 10, he's about to unpack for us what a wife of noble character looks like. Ladies, this is the woman that God has called you to become. Now, this is a process. This is a journey as we grow in wisdom and in stature, just like Jesus did, and in favor with God and man. Guys, this is the kind of woman to be looking for. Not just the prettiest or the hottest girl or the best quote-unquote catch that you can get. No, be looking for a woman or a wife of noble character. A wife of noble character who can find, verse 10, for she is worth far more than rubies. Oh, money's great, but I'm telling you, the Bible's telling you, she's better. For her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. He's not worried about her. He's not concerned about her. He knows that she is self-sufficient in many ways. He knows that she is able to take care of herself. He knows that she's not two-timing behind his back. He knows that she's able to get things done. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. He's not worthy about her bringing challenges or bad into his life. He knows that she is a woman of good character. Why? Because she selects wool and flax and works with eager hands. She has a strong work ethic. This applies to guys, but girls, ladies, catch this. She has a strong work ethic. She's not lazy. It's not about how cute she is. It's not about how she bats her eyelashes. It's not about how she looks on the Instagram. She has a strong work ethic. She is like the merchant ships bringing her food from afar. She gets up while it is still night. She provides food for her family and portions for her female servants. She's not thinking of herself. She's thinking of others. Verse 16, here's interesting. She considers a field and buys it. Out of her earnings, she plants a vineyard. She's a good steward. She's a good steward. She takes her resources and she invests it. And as she invests, she sees a return. She's not just a woman who works hard. She's a woman who understands the value of her resources. She sets about her work vigorously. Her arms are strong for her task. She sees that her trading is profitable and her lamp does not go out at night. She works hard. She turns a profit. She stewards well. In her hand, she holds the distaff and grasps the spindle with her fingers. She opens her arms to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. She's generous. She cares for those who are in need. She considers others and not just herself. It has yet to speak of her beauty. Yet heaven is painting a picture of just how beautiful she is. When it snows, she has no fear for her household, for all of them are clothed in scarlet. She's already taken care of things. She makes coverings for her bed. She is clothed in fine linen and purple. She's royalty. There's something royal about her. Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes his seat among the elders of the land. For she makes linen garments and sells them and supplies the merchants with sashes. She is clothed with strength and dignity. It doesn't say that she's got the newest handbag. It doesn't say that she's got the most stylish clothes. It says that she is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. She ain't worried about what's going on in the world. She ain't got time for everybody else's problems. She's clothed with strength and dignity. She's prepared for what's to come. Why? Because she speaks with wisdom, and faithful instruction is on her tongue. She's a wise mama. She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness. She's not given over to laziness. Her children, they arise, they get up, and they call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. She's celebrated by her family. For many women do noble things, but you surpass them all. Catch this. For charm is deceptive, and beauty is fleeting. It fades. You can trick people with your words. Your beauty, it'll go away. But a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Honor for her and all that her hands have done, and let her works bring her praise at the city gate. This is my prayer. Lord, would you bring into the lives of the single men who watch this and are journeying with us a wife of noble character. And Lord, for the young ladies who have yet to find their husband, would you bring them a godly husband, but in the wait, in the gap, would you help to cultivate them into women of godly character, into women who are clothed with strength and dignity, who speak wisdom, who care for others. And Lord, for those of us who are married, may we continue to grow in your word. Maybe in our relationship, we might find ourselves reading this and wishing for more from our spouse. And I would share with you, be careful. Rejoice in who God has brought you. And be thankful that the one that God has brought you rejoices in you. And focus on who you're called to be, and less on who you desire for them to be. And you focus on you, and you pray for them. And if they focus on them, and they pray for you, I believe that just as the word says, he makes everything beautiful in its season. Not only will God bless your marriage, God will help the two of you to grow together, because that's what marriage is all about. Growing together with each other and growing together with Jesus. Be blessed today.